The people behind Disney Star Wars have tried everything to please individuals online who demand diversity, inclusivity, representation, and entertainment, who would rather narratives be forced into content than people be focused on good storytelling and rich character development. And of course, whenever new Star Wars projects get announced, there's divide between fans because you've got half of the people demanding companies do better and be more inclusive and create content for modern audiences. And then you've got fans who just want good stories that follow the lore and have rich character development and epic heroes' journeys. And at the Game Awards, Quantic Dream announced a new Star Wars game called Eclipse, and we only saw a cinematic trailer for it. It seems like it's a couple of years away still, and the internet is already going crazy over it, and people want it canceled and boycotted because of one single person's involvement. I have a bunch of different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this Bounding into Comics article. It says, #Blackout Star Wars Eclipse boycott launched in protest of developer Quantic Dream and CEO David Cage's involvement with Star Wars Eclipse. There are people on the internet who will never be happy and who will never forget about a company or an individual's past. These people will bring up evidence from years and years and years and years ago of situations that have happened, situations that companies and individuals have been accused of, and they will hold on to them as long as they can. It's like they don't want people to be able to move on. But it says, in light of accusations made in recent years that Quantic Dream employees, including the CEO David Cage, fostered a toxic and harassment-filled work environment, some fans have called for a media blackout on coverage of their newly announced Star Wars Eclipse game, launching the #Blackout Star Wars Eclipse in hopes of rallying others to their cause. It says the first video game set in the High Republic era, Star Wars Eclipse debuted at the Game Awards with a trailer that showed off a montage of scenes featuring Star Wars imagery, including lightsaber fights, starfighter attack runs, a brief introduction to an early protocol droid. The trailer itself didn't look bad. Again, it was just cinematic, and I don't get that excited for cinematic trailers anymore unless it's something that I already know I'm really gonna love and be excited for, like Knights of the Old Republic. We saw the Knights of the Old Republic cinematic trailer a couple of months back. And that looked really, really cool. I got excited for that because I'm excited about KOTOR, but when it's a new game, it's a new project, I don't really get that excited from cinematic trailers because cinematic trailers can look absolutely freaking amazing, and then the product could be a massive disappointment. As a Star Wars fan, though, it looks pretty interesting. Unfortunately, though, it's the High Republic, and we know the High Republic was created with only diversity, inclusivity, pushing narratives in mind. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it goes. Maybe this project will be different. Maybe this will actually get people excited for the High Republic and actually be a good High Republic game. Only time will tell, though. Though the cinematic reveal largely garnered the mix of wounded excitement and defeated brand apathy typical of recent Star Wars-related announcements, the appearance of Quantic Dream's logo in the trailer's final moments caused many a fan to quickly sour on the game's development. And yes, sometimes we see companies be affiliated with projects and it makes us all take a step back and worry about the future of the project. But that usually doesn't happen with companies like Quantic Dream. That happens with companies like EA and Activision Blizzard. We know how these companies are. We know their track record. They've put out terrible content over the years. Behind the scenes, they're a bad company. There's so many different things, not because one company has a CEO that people don't like. While many reacted to the news with groans and eye-rolling due to their knowledge of the studio's typical ham-fisted writing and a glorified walking simulator gameplay, as seen in their past titles such as Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human, others were taken aback due to accusations against Quantic Dream. Now, I actually disagree with this portion of the article. While, yes, a lot of their games are kind of walking simulators, they have super rich and deep stories, lots of character development. If you want a game that's focused mainly on storytelling, you want to go to someone like Quantic Dream because they know what they're doing and they have done good in their previous games. Again, there's not like lots of gunplay and there's not lots of action and combat. And it is more of a walking simulator. The stories are usually really good, really deep, really rich. So I don't think that that's a bad thing. They just create different types of games, but their games have always sold well, and they've always done a good job with what they've created. Maybe with Star Wars Eclipse, they're planning on doing something really different. They're going to jump out of their comfort zone. There's going to be lots of combat. There's going to be less story. There's going to be lots of action. We don't know what Eclipse is going to be yet, and I'm at least going to give them a chance. It says, according to a joint report, though, published by French newspapers and a PC newspaper in 2018, current and former employees alleged that Quantic Dream was rife with general harassment and unsavory behavior, including the photoshopping of various employees in inappropriate situations and racist and sexist jokes, and Cage's own assertion that, in my games, all women are whores. Now, obviously, when you hear about this for the first time, it sounds really terrible, but keep in mind this is a he said, she said situation, and these are accusations. The employee who was disgruntled and who was upset with Quantic Dream went to newspapers to share their story, and they didn't have any evidence. They didn't have any proof that he said this, any voice recordings. They didn't have any text messages showing him saying these things. These are simply accusations, and as we go on to read, when these reports were made public, they denied the accusations and cases were thrown out. But it says during their pursuit of the liable lawsuits, Quantic Dream did lose one court case in regards to the aforementioned inappropriate manipulated images, with the French labor court ruling that the studio was passive in allowing what they determined to be homophobic, misogynist, or even deeply vulgar content to circulate in their offices. However, this ruling was later overturned by the Court of Appeals in Paris, who found that the employee who brought the case against Quantic Dream had been themselves complicit in the situation. Now, yes, as you can see, Quantic Dream has had some bad accusations levied their way over the years, but we're talking about accusations from 2018, and since then, we haven't heard about anything else happening at this company. It sounds like they forced their employees to clean up their act, things are going better at the company, maybe they're not behind the scenes, maybe it's still a mess and a disaster, but no one else has come forward with stories, and we're not talking about stories the size of Activision Blizzard here. People that are mad about this situation are people who have been silent on Activision Blizzard, on Ubisoft, on major gaming companies' terrible accusations, yet they're laser focusing on this one project and one franchise because they don't actually care about the bigger picture in the gaming industry. They care about this one franchise being exactly what they want, and they refuse to accept it any other way. Quantic Dream has been very inclusive over the years. In games like Detroit Become Human, you can make your own LGBTQ story choices, but these people don't care about what they've made in the past. No, only that one person's name is attached to this project, and now they're calling for boycotts over it. It also says ultimately in 2021, the labor court ruled on the liable lawsuits, finding in favor of Quantic Dream's founder, Cage, in their legal action against one of the newspapers on the grounds that the news outlet had failed to meet their burden of proof. So as you can see, all these cases have been dropped now. It says nonetheless, fans, particularly content creators and podcast hosts, outraged by Quantic Dream's involvement with Star Wars Eclipse, responded to the game's announcement by launching the Blackout Star Wars Eclipse hashtag, calling for the studio to be removed and consequently the project to be completely reimagined with another developer at the helm. These people don't care about giving companies and individuals second chances. No. All they care about is getting what they want. They don't want Quantic Dream part of this project. They're not even seeing gameplay. They're not even giving them a chance to create a good project. No. As soon as they found out their company was attached to this, they want it canceled. They want people to boycott it. They're demanding the media don't cover this game, and that is absolutely fucking ridiculous. So here are some of the tweets. Someone said hashtag Blackout Star Wars Eclipse because basic human rights are more important than having that studio make this damn game. Looking at you, Lucasfilm Ltd. Again, there have been no reports since those initial ones made back in 2018 saying this workplace is still toxic and it's terrible. We haven't heard anything else since those reports. The next person said, we want a new Star Wars game, but not one made by a studio with a history of misogyny and racism in their games, a toxic workplace, and with a CEO with no respect for women and LGBTQ plus folk. This is not actually true because in their games they have always pushed storylines where you can make LGBTQ plus choices. They have pushed storylines where you can make those choices for yourself because that's just the company they are. They've always allowed those dialogue options in their games. So if we're judging solely by a game point of view, they've been very inclusive. Now, this next part is truly hilarious because this associate level design director for the upcoming Star Wars Hunters mobile game attacked Quantic Dream and David Cage while promoting her own game. She had said, I'm seriously so heartbroken that David Cage is working on Eclipse. This is the man who said, in my games, all women are whores and runs a misogynistic, racist studio. This is not what Star Wars is about. And then goes on to say, yes, we have a diverse set of characters currently planned. Diverse in genders, race and ethnicity, sexual orientation, and Star Wars species. It's very important to us. So they are capitalizing on the hopeful failure of this game. They're capitalizing on this controversy to promote their own game, saying what they can't do, we can do. We're so much better. Why would you ever trust someone like this who is willing to push down other companies to boost up their own products? When it comes to Star Wars, I have a lot of hesitation now. The sequel trilogy was garbage, the novels haven't been great, we're seeing this phase into the High Republic, which we know has been made to please modern audiences, and the idea of modern audiences is garbage because people want the same content now that they did 20 and 30 years ago. I'm someone who is willing to give things a million chances because I love gaming, I loved Star Wars, and this game might not be a super woke game. It might be amazing. We have absolutely no clue yet, but these people don't give things a chance. There's one person who's allegedly said bad things. There's been some accusations levied against the company that we haven't heard in years, and they want this whole project canceled because of it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.